Well, thanks for clicking on to the UK Europe video blog for today. We're now on the 11th of December, and we've got a lot to talk about over the next, several days. In fact, the rest of this week looks a very, very busy week ahead. Probably, it could potentially be one of the stormiest weeks the UK and Ireland has seen in many, many years. We've got two potentially very powerful areas of low pressure that will, on approach to Ireland and the UK, deepen quite rapidly. The ingredients are all there for you to see. You can see the cold over Greenland, you can see the warmer air over to the south, over the Azores and Iberia. And as these areas of low pressure track along a very, very powerful Atlantic jet stream, all the correct environment surrounding the North Atlantic and over the UK and Ireland, as well as that, we've got the upper level dynamics there to support a very, very wild pattern. I mean, if you think of back to last Thursday, with Scotland seeing some tremendous winds, damaging winds. Unfortunately, folks, I actually think that was probably a sign of worse to come. Now, the system at the moment appears to be the one at the start of the week. In my opinion, looks as if it's more going to affect southern Scotland and the north of England. Now, folks at the BBC Weather Centre are suggesting the majority of Wales and England, severe gales, damaging gales. But certainly, I know this is only one model and it's still a bit of time out yet. But the GFS model itself, to me, is appearing to track an area of low pressure around the 952 millibars, 954 perhaps, as it crosses right over the north coast of Scotland. To me, it looks as if the strongest winds are going to be across Northern Ireland, central and southern Scotland, into the north of England. Winds, I wouldn't be surprised again, 70 to 80 mile an hour quite easily. Damage will be caused yet again, and I think that will be the case across Northern Ireland. Of course, the favoured windy spots will perhaps see 90 to 100 miles an hour. And across the central belt, there's going to be more disruption, more problems caused. That will be late Monday in through the majority of Tuesday. And if the GFS model is in any way correct, it would suggest actually through Tuesday morning, right all the way through Wednesday, winds will continue to increase. Now that's of course the current model run. It will change. It's changing very, very regularly, and it's quite hard to. Basically, the meteorological environment that we're looking at the moment is very complex. It's very difficult to pinpoint the finer details, and that's the reason I think why the BBC is quite quiet in committing to anything serious just yet. Is they're obviously, like myself, a little hesitant in committing to anything. I know you might say that's a cop-out and whatnot, but there's no point in saying this is going to happen. Armageddon's going to take place in the next few days, when, let's face it, the models are going to change, and you don't want to put those warnings out there, basically misleading the public to believe in this or that's going to happen when it doesn't, because then when it doesn't happen, people start to doubt you and start to take forecasts less seriously. So it is definitely a very serious situation. What I will say is this much: it looks as if late Thursday and through Friday could be potentially a pretty dangerous situation across particularly the majority of the Republic of Ireland, through Wales and England. It looks as if we've got at the moment anyway a 944 millibar low, very, very powerful, much more powerful than what we've seen here in Scotland on Thursday past, and it would be very, very dangerous indeed if a 944 millibar low crossed right across the central part of Scotland, the centre of the storm, that being that we don't see particularly strong winds here, because where you're underneath the centre of low pressure, it does tend to be a little calmer, to say the least. But to the south of that, where you've got the strongest wind core, folks, Ireland, Wales and England look as if they could be seeing quite comfortably hurricane force winds, if not winds that we haven't seen in the UK in many, many years. I'm going to have a quick look actually of the current GFS model. We're going to look, I know the quality is quite poor and I apologise for that. I'll try and make it as clear as possible. This is looking out the Monday, folks, and you can see here not a terrific deal really. What we have got is some westerly winds blowing in off the Atlantic. We might have a fairly windy day across the board, perhaps a little windier across the Republic of Ireland. We've got a southwest wind blowing there, more westerly winds across Scotland, England, England and Wales. But if you skip ahead through the sequence, and we're going to continue in through Tuesday, you can see the isobars starting to pack. Notice that winds very strong out of the west. We're going to be seeing across the board very strong winds. You notice here several centres of low pressure here to the north of Scotland. They're around 956 in millibars. So folks, don't focus too much on Friday just